The Irish countryside was peaceful at dusk, the golden light of the setting sun washing over the rolling hills. A group of 5 hikers, Emily, Ryan, Mark, Sarah, and Jake, had been exploring the rural landscape for hours, following an old map Ryan had found online. Their plan was to set up camp near an abandoned village, a place rumored to be haunted. "It's just a legend," Mark scoffed, as they trudged through the overgrown path. "This whole banshee thing? Just old folklore to scare people." Sarah glanced around nervously. "Still, if the stories are true, a banshee's scream means someone's about to die." Emily rolled her eyes. "Come on, Sarah, it's just a myth." They arrived at the crumbling ruins of a centuries-old village. The wind carried a strange, mournful hum through the broken walls, but none of them mentioned it. Setting up their tents, they laughed, cooked over a fire, and talked about their hike. But as night fell, everything changed. A chilling wail shattered the silence. It wasn't the wind, it was a voice. A woman's voice, filled with sorrow, stretching across the empty village. It echoed through the hills, making the trees tremble. Jake dropped his cup. "What the hell was that?" Ryan forced a laugh, though his hands shook. "Probably an animal." Then the scream came again, closer this time. It was an agonized, soul-piercing sound, filled with grief and warning. Sarah clutched Mark's arm. "That's not an animal." The air around them thickened with an unnatural cold. The fire flickered violently before snuffing out. The group huddled together, scanning the darkness, and then they saw her. A shadowy figure stood at the edge of the ruins, her long, tangled hair flowing like mist. Her hollow eyes gleamed in the moonlight, and her mouth twisted open, releasing another blood-curdling wail. Emily gasped, "No way." Ryan grabbed his flashlight and aimed it at the figure, but she was gone. Panic set in. "We need to leave," Jake muttered, throwing their supplies into his bag. Sarah clutched her head. "She's warning us. Someone's going to die." The group sprinted into the darkness, abandoning their camp. They ran through the fields, trying to reach the main road, but the path seemed different, longer, twisting, leading them in circles. The wail rang out again, deafening this time. Mark fell to his knees, clutching his chest. "I can't," he gasped. Blood trickled from his ears. Emily shook him. "Get up." The banshee's presence thickened the air, suffocating them with invisible hands. Then, with a final ear-splitting shriek, Mark collapsed. Dead. The group screamed. Sarah sobbed. "I told you." The banshee came for him. The wailing faded into the wind. The cold lifted. The silence stretched unbearably. Ryan pulled Sarah and Emily to their feet. "We're leaving. Now." The survivors ran until they reached the road. When they looked back, the ruins were gone, vanished into the mist. The next day, Mark's death was ruled an accident. But the hikers knew the truth. They had heard the warning. They had seen the banshee. And now they lived in terror, waiting to hear the wail again, wondering who would be next.